There seems to be an awful lot of sad stories in the news today, and there are thousands missing. Does anybody care? We built a channel where we talk about those faces. Talking News. Debbie. Cassie Barons has still not been found, and it's been 2 years since her case first hit the spotlight. Breaking. Chattanooga and Middle Valley both behind bars. Sarah Galloway was found. She wasn't found alive. What happened to Sarah Galloway?
It's too heartbreaking to share.
Children are still missing. Children like Dorsey. You're in shame. You just got away with it. Welcome to Talking News. Hello everyone. My name is Debbie. We use big stories to push little faces.
Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing a Murderer Talking News. My name's Debbie. I want to ask you guys before we get started to subscribe and like. That's important if you like watching these videos. So in the Brian Laundrie case, we are dealing with several videos that are coming out. Plus the Lori Vallow case has a few videos coming out. So the first video is the Laundrie, well, his parents. Their neighbors are saying that they seen Brian actually taking a run into a wooded area near the home. So take a glance at this.
Ran out of there.
Probably through the woods right here. And he hauled ass, and the neighbors right there got it on surveillance.
Witnesses are saying he ran out
Brian.
of there.
Probably through the woods right here. And he hauled ass, and the neighbors right there got it on surveillance.
So
Said they thought it was.
Okay, so let's slow this down just a little bit because they're really rocking that camera. So what we think she is saying is Brian Laundrie ran out from the family home, then ran that direction towards the woods. So that we circled earlier. So he ran into the woods. So we're going to have to pull up a map and see where that leads to. She also mentions that a neighbor actually has it on security footage. Oh, wow. What I would love to see that and see if that is actually what happened. So that really raises more questions for everyone. The family says that it was the 14th of September they last saw him. They changed that date to the 13th of September. He mentioned he was going camping at Carlton or hiking. We don't know which. From the original date that they said that he went missing, which was September 14th. So a lot of people are kind of skeptical because of the fact that they're switching dates. And not only that, they're like, how could you not know when your son goes missing? Well, they said that they're basing this on events. So maybe they're saying they had not seen Brian much and they were kind of busy. It's not like they were hanging out with him and they were trying to remember when they last seen him, and it's been difficult for them to really know. Well, guess what, guys? We don't know what they think because they are not talking. So neighbors say that they see him go into a wooded area. It is on security camera. But which way is Brian heading? Well, there's so many trails and so many hiking areas, guys. Back ways, power lines. He is going to be able to have a field day and choices in order to kind of escape any kind of eyes. To be honest, it's going to be quite easy because there is so much time. And the time he was reported missing until when he actually took off, this creates a huge problem. There isn't no telling where he's at. So the investigators and FBI continue to search the Carlton Jr. Reserve. They must know something we don't, or they're using the parents' tips. So they believe the parents for some reason. And I kind of did a mapping of the area, as you can see here, and get an idea of what it kind of looks like. Some of the routes that he would be able to choose in order to go there by foot. Since he is an avid hiker, he's gonna have no problem at all hiking this area because he's from this area. A lot of people say that gators are going to be an issue. No, gators won't be an issue unless you go tromping through the water with a bunch of pork in your hand. Well, a lot of this area is covered in water. A lot of it is not. So there are tons of trails. And like I mentioned before, there are trails that run behind subdivisions that have been put there for people to hike, walk, or ride bikes. So you can see here that we live by gators daily, and it's not an issue ever. I mean, we have mama and daddy gators around us. We have baby gators. Not saying it couldn't be an issue, but most times it's not an issue. The worst thing he has to deal with in Florida, honestly, is the heat, the humidity, and the mosquitoes. So the best thing I can think of is maybe look for signs of some type of campsite where he might be traveling. But if you look at where the FBI is looking, which is still at the Carlton Reserve, they're actually going down the power lines now, which is, I think, is smart. You can kind of block entryways, and at one point he's going to cross a power line. But here's the problem. How far has he made it? I mean, he's had weeks now. As far as we know, he could be in Central, America right now. He could be in Kansas. He could be heading to, a lot of you people believe, Canada. So I want to share this footage I found for you where Brian Laundrie on August 12th is actually put into a domestic violence room in a hotel.
Tyson? Yep. Officer Robbins Bill called for me.
He did, yes.
This is Brian Laundrie.
Alright.
So he's going to get you all set up with your hotel room, and he's going to take care of it from here.
Alright. Well,
Alright?
thank you so
And
much.
like I said, just remember my requests. I think it'll make a big difference in you guys' next couple weeks at the very least.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything.
No problem. It's nice meeting you, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one.
Alright, so sorry.
So there you see this very appreciative Brian, who feels like he's, made it through this ordeal. Nobody goes to jail. And I really feel that this couple did not realize how much trouble their relationship was in and how it was heading in a very dangerous direction. The policeman did, and he tried to tell them, don't just take this as a grain of salt, go seek help, work on this or something bad's gonna happen. So many people believe that Brian is 100% to blame here, which he could be, but I cannot say who's to blame other than he did have a decision that he could have not hurt her. But I think he had a temper problem, an anger issue that he and I don't think Gabby realized how dangerous that anger problem was, and he should address that knowing that he had this anger issue, and he didn't. Okay, let's watch his personality in this video again. Pay very close attention.
For everything.
No problem. It's nice meeting you, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good one.
And in my opinion, and of course you guys have your own opinion, I believe that officer felt confident that he could trust that Brian and Gabby would do the right thing. And guess what? Didn't happen. I always try to combine two words sometimes. Did not happen. So to be honest with you, I've really not even had time to soak this case in. To really, usually I try to get to know the people involved. I like to do it that way because I like to see them as a person, not just as a subject. Okay, let's hop back a little bit. Let's jump back to yesterday. So FBI they were searching the power lines, that roadway running behind the Carlton Reserve. And they had several places that they had a group of cars sitting. Some of them had vans for the people that were running drones, which was not the normal drones you're used to seeing. This drone was actually an airplane. And what I read is they say that drone actually is used for mapping the area. So it seems like what they could be doing is they may have an idea of what direction he went. Hopefully that's so. And they're kind of mapping where they're going so that they can easily keep up with which direction they're wanting to go, and maybe plan a strategy to kind of close him into a certain area to make it easier to search for him. Because leaving it like it is now and at the beginning where it's kind of anywhere is game is going to be very difficult. So right now we know that Cassie, Brian's sister, has come forward and said, I'm wanting to know where he is just like everyone else. And she asked her brother to turn himself in. So if her brother had seen anything, which might be difficult if he's living in these hard to get Wi-Fi areas or any kind of mobile service, he most likely don't know. So I think what would be a good idea is for the parents to kind of send a sign in the air, just like the TikTok people did, saying, Brian, turn yourself in. Your parents want you to. But right now, I think the majority of us have mixed feelings on how the parents are involved with whether they're trying to help their son or they just don't know how to deal with it. We know that they weren't trying to help search for him, but just recently, Brian's father actually volunteered to help search. But that didn't turn out to be an option. So people are flying drones over their property and they catch them actually gardening and they spot the drone and quickly leave. So seeing the family kind of live the life as if it's normal, that's a little bit odd to a lot of people. But then again, what are you supposed to do? So I think drones flying into their yard is rude, straight up. So I believe, hopefully, watching the FBI kind of mapping right now, and you can see right here in this video where they're kind of blocking paths. So you see this little vehicle come around and you have two of them that go across this path. They just park and sit there. So it looks like, to me, that they're kind of blocking paths. And maybe they have people searching in between. I'm going to add Jasmine Robinson's link in the description. Make sure you check out her story. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys soon.